Hey guys. Crazy, huh? 32nd birthday. Today, right now, as a matter of fact. 1 minute shy of my actual birthday. Uh, uh, oh, I am officially 32. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm using the tablet. You can see it in the mirror right back here. So, guys, isn't this kind of interesting? 30-second vlog on my 32nd birthday. Oof. Talk about some awesome, awesome, awesome coincidences. Coincidence? I think not. Whoa! Whoa! Ooh. Hey folks, this is Necro Black, Gregory's Necro Black. And yes, I'm in the bathroom. Am I using the bathroom? You be the judge. Of course not, I still have my shorts on. See my stomach? Man, no, actually what I'm doing right now is I'm about to do the cat litter. I have the tablet right on top of the litter box. Well, on top of the carrier where the litter box is inside. And while I'm going to be dealing with some crap, I thought I'd be talking some crap. This is a Necro Black vlog, number 32, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to be talking a little bit about, well, we're going to be talking a bit about some stuff, some bull crap to say the least. We're going to be talking about the law, or all the craziness that's been going on as of late. And we're also going to be talking about one other thing I want to talk about, something that I read today that kind of disturbs me. I think I'll go into the law thing first because it makes more sense for me to do that. See, well, you know what? Let's just go with the introduction first, shall we? Alright. Okay, pardon the terrible lighting, but you can still see me and you can still hear me, so it's cool. Gives me a chance to actually go and take care of this. See, I got my little cat scooper right here. Oh, litter scooper. Litter scooper. Let's see, we got the cat litter deodorizer. And the cat litter right here, which is inside of a carrier. So don't be too shocked if you see the top of a carrier just go by the camera. Yeah. See? Oh. Okay. Oh. Wow. Oh. Okay, so, jeez, Christ. All right. So, I know everybody's kind of concerned about all the crazy things that have been going on as far as, you know, cops attacking people and stuff like that. Let me move this over so you can see me a little bit better. See if you can see me a little bit better. Can you see me a little bit better? Okay, yeah, you can. A little bit more like that. There we go. Hope to God you don't fall in the tub. The bathtub water is running. Alright, so I know everybody's been a little concerned about all the insanity that's been going on as far as law enforcement in this country. I mean, the cops have been bugging out. I mean, more so than usual. You know, it's a little weird when you have to sit there and worry about whether or not you're going to get your head blown off because a cop just mistakes either a candy bar, which happened a couple years ago, for mistake a candy bar for something, or mistake a sandwich, which happened not too long ago, like maybe a couple days ago, and you wind up getting shot for that, or cops just decide they want to, abuse their power and start beating people down. Like the other day, this kid got beat up for smoking a cigarette on the street. Now, I understand you don't want kids to smoke cigarettes because, it's not exactly the most healthiest thing in the world. But for them to go and, the kid who wasn't a threat at all, getting knocked out, getting pistol whipped, and this is NYPD that did this, In St. Louis, a kid got shot, killed in the street for holding on to a sandwich. The cops, I don't know what it is, if their protocol is much more, I don't know if it's that their protocol is different, this time around, or what, or the cops just don't have the same know-how as cops in the past, or what, but, yes, I'm literally doing the litter on YouTube, online. You guys can hear it. This shit is terrible. Okay. Just so you guys know, just so you guys can see that I'm not kidding about doing the litter. There's the litter. Ooh. What the hell do we feed these cats? These things are trying to kill me. Jesus Christ. Ugh. But yeah, back into the case we go. But yeah, man, like, I don't know if it's a different protocol or what, but it seems like more and more people are getting hurt by the very people we're supposed to be protected by than actually being protected. And the weird thing about it is, there have been cops that have spoken out against all the atrocities that have gone on. That have spoken out against the abuse of power, that have said, hey, this is what's going on. Either we're being forced to ticket people because we have to meet a certain quota, or we have to arrest people because we have to meet a certain quota, or you just have people that just like being bullies and hide behind their badge to go and attack people and beat people down for no apparent reason, just because they're having a bad day or whatever, and they decide, well, you know what, I'm a cop, can nobody tell me what I can and cannot do? It's messed up because, cops like that mess up the image for the good cops, the ones that actually do their jobs and actually protect citizens of the city and actually, abide by laws and do what they have to do, actually try to work towards achieving peace within their communities. It's a big problem, I mean, this is something that, and I have friends who are cops. Don't get it twisted. It's not like I don't have friends who are cops. I have friends that have known me since I was a kid that became detectives and sergeants, things of that sort, ranks of that sort in precincts around the city. So it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. Those are the guys that I know that they're not dirty cops. They're not those people that'll go and, arrest you for having your drugs or whatever, and then make sure whatever they took off you doesn't make it to where it has to go, there's a lot of really messed up things going on in this world. And you would think that law enforcement would be there to try to, keep peace, keep things going, make sure that the bad guys, the actual bad guys, go to jail or get out of our communities. Instead, they're picking on innocent people and they're going about their business, becoming the bad guys that people, a lot of people, feel that they are. And I sympathize with some of the officers that aren't dirty cops who have to deal with this negative stereotype because they didn't do anything and they don't deserve to be, given this negative stereotype. But unfortunately, because of some of their brothers and sisters, they have to go and deal with the BS that they have to deal with because of their brothers and sisters who commit these atrocities in society, in the public eye. I'm not going to lie. I have a love-hate relationship for the police, and it's mostly because a lot of times, every time that I've gotten stopped by cops, it was for no good reason. I've never once been arrested I've been stopped by cops plenty of times. I've been searched by cops plenty of times. I almost got arrested a few times, and for stuff that I didn't even do. And in only one case can I say, okay, it would have been mistaken identity because I actually saw the wanted poster of the person they were looking for, and the guy was literally a dead ringer for how I looked. If you've seen the old Necro Black look, when I had the full beard and I had the mustache and I had my hair down long, the guy they were looking for looked just like that. So that was one case in which I could say, okay, I look like the guy they were looking for. But in every other case, I just fit the description of someone that they were looking for. And in actuality, I probably didn't fit the description. And that's why I have a love-hate for them, because I understand they got to do their jobs and everything like that, and they got to deal with a lot of idiots. But at the same time, you can't suspect every person that looks a certain way of being a criminal. You can't. And that's why there is a love-hate there for the police. In my case, anyway, that's why there's a love-hate for the NYPD and for police in general. Because every time a cop looks at me, or at least the majority of the times that cops look at me, they look at me and they don't even think, okay, well, this guy's just walking down the street trying to get to his destination. He could just be walking down the street to go to the store, or just be walking down the street to get home or get to a friend's house. They're looking at me like, okay, this guy's a fat guy who's walking down the street, dressed hood, dressed this, dressed that. He's probably going to pick something up illegal. Probably going to pick up a gun, or probably going to pick up some drugs, or probably going to go and rob someone. Let's stop him. And like, I understand the mindset, but at the same time, I feel like you can't go suspecting every single person that walks down the street that looks like me, or, looks like someone that I would hang out with, of doing some stuff like that, because 9 times out of 10, they're not doing anything. And you're just hassling them for no apparent reason. And that's why I understand about the love-hate that a lot of other people have, because that's why I have a love-hate for the cops. But the reason I have a love for them, other than understanding that they have things that they have to do, and understanding what their job and their role is, and being that I've met a lot of nice cops, I also have friends that work in law enforcement. So I can't really sit there and say all cops are bad, but a good portion of them are idiots, are complete troglodytes, okay? And, maybe it's just me. Probably not. But as of late, there has been a lot, an unfathomable amount of hatred and shade towards law enforcement in the press, in media,
And to be honest, the only ones that you can actually blame are the cops that are responsible for what's been going on. Freaking, the dude that got choked, I forgot his name, Gardner, I think his name was, I believe. His family is suing New York City, the NYPD, and 10 officers for like $75 million. And they might get that. And they deserve it. Because their loved one passed away due to the actions of what the officers were trying to do. They were subduing their family member and using an illegal chokehold. You're not supposed to choke someone down. You're supposed to restrain them long enough so that you can bring them into booking. You know, if you gotta restrain them, if you gotta wrestle them down or whatever, wrestle them down. But you don't go and freaking choke them, restrict air from entering their lungs and entering their body. Because you're no longer trying to do something in the law, you're dealing with the law, you're now becoming the aggressor, you're now becoming the attacker. And they went and they choked them and they killed them. They killed them. You know? They killed them. You have kids that are getting shot. And even though some of these kids, some of them, I'm not going to lie, some of these kids, they might have, they may be little hooligans or whatnot, but being a hooligan doesn't give cops the right to go and kill someone. If they say, yo, I give up, yo, I have my hands up and, you know, I'm giving up, I'm not gonna attack no more, you can go ahead and arrest me. That doesn't give a cop a right to go bang. That doesn't give a cop the right to go and do that. That gives the cop the right to take you in. And unfortunately, it seems like every cop nowadays wants to act like this is the Wild West. They want to go and they want to shoot people and they want to kill people. You know, this isn't the Wild West. This is modern day America. This is modern day society. We don't just shoot people. Shoot if you have to. But if you don't have to, restrain and take them in. Simple as that. Simple as that. And you know what? I might have a couple of people that might say that I'm wrong. I've been sitting here talking to you about this, having paid attention to the weather. I gotta dump this real quick. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing your job. Do your job, because it's your job. But don't go out there and then provoke people to do stuff, because a lot of times the cops have provoked people to do stuff. Oh, this stinks. Oh, this stinks. And the bottom of this thing is wet. You can see it. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. But getting back to what I was saying, there's nothing wrong with an officer going and doing their job. There is a problem when an officer goes and abuses their power. There's a major problem with that. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of cops nowadays, especially in this day and age, want to go and abuse their power and act like they're not in the wrong for doing what they're doing. I know I might get into some kind of trouble for saying what I'm saying online. I know I might have a lot of people from law enforcement that might disagree with what I'm saying. But at the same time, I don't think I'm going to have a whole lot of them disagree with what I'm saying. Because I'm not saying don't do your job. I'm saying don't abuse your power. Don't abuse the rights and privileges that you've been given. These aren't necessarily privileges. These are mandates and laws that you yourself are supposed to follow in order for you to enforce the law of the land. So if you're not going to go and enforce the law of the land, and you're going to abuse the mandates and the privileges, the rights, and everything that's been given to you to protect people like me, then you don't deserve to have your job. You don't deserve to have your position of power. You really don't. And I know I'm not the only person that feels this way. I know I'm not the only person in society that feels this way. I know society as a whole feels this way. So why don't we, you know, why not even we, why doesn't the folks in law enforcement, the higher ups in law enforcement actually work towards a resolution, trying to prevent further atrocities like Garner, like Ferguson, like all that other stuff from happening? You know, people are worried about the Ebola virus, but you want to know what's the biggest virus of all? Abuse. Physical abuse, mental abuse, domestic abuse, abuse of power. Abuse. That's the biggest problem this country, well, one of the biggest problems this country faces today. And no one wants to actually try to do something about it. Yeah, you have a few select individuals that can, but there's a lot of them that can do it and choose not to, because they want to stand behind their brothers and sisters. Don't stand behind your brother. You are not your brother's keeper. Do what is right and take care of what you need to take care of. Stop the atrocities from happening. Please. The public needs you to be there, to step up and do what you need to do in order to protect the public. It's all up to you guys. It's not up to us. We can only voice our opinions. We can only come together as a people and try to say, hey, you guys aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. We can rise up and actually get government to back us on things. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you. And now another thing that I want to talk about that I read today, and it kind of deals with the law, but it's not necessarily an atrocity it's not a tragedy that deals with cops. It's a tragedy that I read about a young man in Texas by the name of, I think, Kevin Davis. This man is mental. There's no other way for me to put it. The man is mental. The man who was a virgin, 18 years old, he went and he strangled his mother with a video game, with a controller cord. When he couldn't get her to stop screaming, he took her head and bashed it with like a lamp or something. And after he bashed it with a lamp, he killed her. And just to make sure that he killed her, he put his finger on her brain and moved it around. And then after he did that, he raped his mother's corpse. Now I know plenty of people that would sit there and say, metal. No, not metal. Mental is more like it. See, the whole thing is, he believes that he's not mentally unstable. He's already gone through his court case. He's already been sentenced to 100 years in prison. He's 18. So he might, unless he lives to be 119, 120 years old, he's never getting out of prison. He's sentenced to life, pretty much. And he firmly believes that he is not mentally unstable. You see, there's a problem right there. See, actions speak a hell of a lot louder than words. And his actions, holy mildew removal. Things not playing. What do you call it? His actions speak a hell of a lot louder than his words. See, dude firmly believes that he is not mentally unstable because he's totally aware of what he did. And he knows he did wrong, but he feels no remorse for it. He feels absolutely no remorse for his actions. And the problem there is, you know, I don't know if he realized it. I'm pretty sure everyone else who was in that room, in that courtroom, realizes it. I know I realized it. The man's a sociopath. Not aware that he's a sociopath. And give me a second. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. The dude's a sociopath. Clearly. Classic case of a sociopath. Doesn't see anything wrong with what he did. Has no regard for human life. His whole plan was to go in and he had dreams and aspirations of oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. He had dreams and aspirations of going and killing and raping both his mother and his sister. And he succeeded in killing his mother and raping her corpse, and was waiting for his sister to come home so he could do the same exact thing to her. And the guy eventually got bored of waiting for his sister, got on a bike, and started riding away from home. He ran away from home. Starts riding along the train tracks around where he was living at. Eventually stops at a couple's home. Tells them, call the cops, I've killed someone. The cops go and discover the grisly scene. Now, as he's talking, he smiles and waves at the couple that turned him in. Like it's all a game, like it's all funny to him. He's like, oh, hello, from the fence, from the table where he was sitting at. And, you know, they also did a psych thing. They also talked to him about what some of his dreams were, and one of his dreams was to get dressed up in a suit and get a girl, you know, there, a pretty girl, cut her head off, put her in a dress, and rape her corpse as well. But then he says that he's not mentally unstable, that he's not crazy, that he's well aware of what he did. Well, see, that's the problem. The fact that he's well aware of what he did and he's totally okay with what he did, it means he's freaking nuts. Someone explain to this kid that he's freaking nuts. Because this kid is a freaking psychopath. Okay? And, you know, pardon me for saying, but, you know, I wouldn't keep someone like that alive, especially on my dime, on a taxpayer dime, because people like that, they don't deserve to live. It's much like rapists and pedophiles and stuff like that, and you know, mass murderers and terrorists and stuff like that. They don't deserve the chance to live. And we, in this country, have far too many people on death row already. We have people that are still on death row, that have been on death row since the 70s, and we're still keeping their asses alive. And does anyone find anything wrong with this other than myself? I mean, I know I'm not the only one that's crazy and thinks that this is a bad idea, that keeping him alive in jail and letting him have a chance to breathe and live and see and wake up every other day is a bad idea. I mean, his mother's never going to be able to do the same thing. His mother is never going to be able to wake up the next morning, make herself a cup of coffee and say, I love my family. His sister might be able to, but she's going to be emotionally and mentally scarred for the rest of her life based on his actions. And we're keeping this guy alive because I think, honestly, just kill him off and dissect his brain to find out what's wrong with him. I think that'd probably be the best method I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are probably going to say, oh no, we should give him some psychiatric help and this, that, and the third. No, because you know what that psychiatric help is going to be? That psych help is not going to be help. It's just going to be covering up the problem. It's like taking crap. Hold on one second. Yeah. No, I'm that'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. Alright. Dinner plans. Anywho. Getting back to what I'm saying. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to sit there and disagree with me on saying that this guy needs help. They're going to sit there and say, oh, well, you know, he could use a lot of psychiatric help. He needs to have people, you know, sit there and tell him, you know, let him know what he did was wrong and get him to realize that what he did was wrong. No. First off, he realizes what is wrong because he claimed, he says that he felt bad for what he did. He felt bad for what he did. He said he felt remorse and that he knows that what he did was wrong. But he did it anyway, and he said he wouldn't change what he did. Why would you keep someone like that around? Why? Why? There's no point. This guy is full of the stuff that I just scooped out with this. Okay? Y'all want to keep him alive? Then you keep him in your house and keep him out of the public eye. But if you're not going to do that, hell no. Body that monkey. Body that dude. Get rid of him. The public society does not need individuals like that. That is one of the things that's wrong with society. Everybody wants to go and try to help those who they feel they can help. But he's clearly a case of someone you cannot help. Because even somewhere down the line, even if he somehow gets better, he's still going to have in the back of his mind those thoughts that, yeah, maybe I want to do this and maybe I want to kill again. And what's going to happen? He's going to kill again. And then what? What do you think is going to happen? People, we have to do what we have to do. Society has to do what it has to do. The law has to do what it has to do. And one of those things that the law has to do, other than regulate itself and stop the renegade cops from doing all those crazy things that's been going on, is to make sure that guys like that dude, like that Kevin Davis dude, is ever getting out in society ever again. Do not allow him out in the public. And do not, you can go ahead and psych him all you want, as long as he's back behind a jail cell. Back into a jail cell, I should say. Back behind the gates of a jail. As long as you keep him there, fine. Because at least people like me, and people like you that are watching at home, I know you guys will sleep all at night knowing that psychopaths like that are not going to be coming around your way anytime soon, even though, unfortunately, no one ever can spot where there is and isn't a psychopath. They could be anyone, they could be anywhere, they could be right next to you. But at least something like this, at least something else like that could be prevented as long as you take away the problems that, you know, you get people like that away. You just keep them away. That's that. Eesh. Anywho, it's, wow, I've been in here for a bit. Yeah, so I'm going to finish up this litter. So I have it in the bag, and I got to clean the carrier and clean the box and then put fresh litter, and we'll put cat deodorizer, fresh litter, and then more cat deodorizer, and, you know, all that other wonderful stuff, so that way the cats have somewhere to poo. But I'm going to close off with this. Society has to be able to regulate its own issues at times. When you see something as crazy as what's been going on with like law enforcement, never stay silent. Ever. Because if you stay silent, that only means that you are a part of the problem. You are not a part of the solution. Just like they say, if you see something, say something. If you see something, record it, and then say something. Because that way, what you have recorded, now you have proof. And if you ever hear of some kind of story where you may suspect someone is, might be some kind of an issue, especially if it's something like that, don't hesitate to alert the proper authorities. Or at least if you can handle it yourself, make sure you have a psych degree first. But no, I'm serious though. Like, if you ever hear of a certain situation that might not seem right to you, and you feel like you can't handle it yourself, then alert the proper people that can handle it for you, and try to stay vigilant in making sure that nothing wrong goes on. Because then at the end of the day, it's up to you, me, all of us, to take care of what needs to be taken care of. And if we now have to worry about law enforcement losing their goddamn minds in doing what they're supposed to be doing, then we gotta report what we gotta report. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna finish up this letter. You guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope I provoked some thought with this vlog. And if you like what you saw, if you have any comments or any thoughts you'd like to share, feel free to comment in the comment section below. And if anything, people, just don't hesitate to check out the page. It's facebook.com/gregory.necro.black. Feel free to hit me up. Hit me up on Twitter at GregNecroBlack. And if you want to check out some funny pictures or some cool sports pics or even some insightful provoking pictures, find me on Instagram at this_is_necky. And anyway, I gotta finish this up because the cats need a place to crap. And I need to get out of this bathroom. So, until next time, folks, this is the beastly one, the F66 Party Animal SVF's favorite luchador, Gregory Necro Black. And I'm out. Peace. Oh, and one other thing before I go. This is October. This is the day before my birthday, so by the time this goes online, it'll probably be after my birthday or on my birthday, one or the other. Happy birthday to me. And guys, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm not gonna go and go crazy and post the link down on the bottom. Well, I probably will post the link on the bottom. But even if you can't donate, at least raise awareness. Let people know in your community that breast cancer is a major issue. A lot of people lose their lives. Thousands of people lose their lives every year to breast cancer. And if you can donate, if you can help, if you can raise awareness, please feel free to do so. If you're in New York, we have breast cancer walks, and if you want to get down with it, go for it. Wear pink for the month, just to show your support. I don't typically wear pink, but for this month, I would, and I would, probably. I gotta find something pink to wear though. Or I might just get an armband. But I may just donate as well. I mean, I donated to the ALS club. So, Anywho, like I said, I gotta be out. Talk to you later. Adios, guys. Bye.